This is KGW News at Sunrise.
And good morning. Thanks for getting up with us on this Sunday. I'm Tim Gordon. This morning on Sunrise, city workers rallied to strike as it seems likely in just a couple days. But the negotiations are ongoing. What we've learned this weekend. Plus, the pride of Hood River is going for the gold. We're there as his family and friends watch him compete. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Chris McGinnis for a quick look at that forecast. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Tim. Thanks for joining us, everyone. And this is what awaits you as you step outside this morning. A nice look at downtown, sort of, from what you can see. We've got fog out there, fairly thick fog up and down the I-5 corridor. Last check at PDX, by the way, it's 34 degrees, 2.33. So the air is fairly saturated. It's a little frosty, and it's quite foggy for a lot of us. So there is a dense fog advisory in effect for the lower Columbia. From the Longview, Rainier area south along I-5 and through southwest Washington and all the way down to Salem. This is until 10 o'clock. Visibility at times could be a quarter mile or less. In fact, down to less than an eighth of a mile right now at PDX. Quarter mile in Hillsborough, half mile visibility right now in McMinnville. So that's part of the story this morning, the fog. Otherwise, a chilly start to the day, but a really nice Sunday coming our way after the low clouds and fog lift. We've got sunshine this afternoon with highs once again getting into the lower 50s. Sunset today at 5:24. Tim?
Beautiful. Thanks, Chris. Well, Portland police have identified the man shot and killed yesterday morning in Portland's Argay Terrace neighborhood. Corey Eady was 44 years old and the city's 11th homicide victim this year. Officers were called to Northeast 131st and Prescott at around 2 a.m. Saturday. When they arrived, they found Eady hurt, but still alive. Paramedics got there and continued life-saving measures before taking him to the hospital where Eady died. No arrests have been made. Police are asking anyone with information to contact them. In Washington County, deputies say a man tried to lure a child into his car with candy. This happened Friday afternoon when the 11-year-old was walking from a school bus stop near Northwest Meacham and Murdoch Roads. Thankfully, the child did not get in the car and was able to run to safety. Deputies say the man was driving a newer model bright blue BMW sedan like the one we're showing you right now, and also had a passenger in the car. They think this could be related to a similar incident that happened in Forest Grove last Monday. They're asking anyone with information to call the Washington County Sheriff's Office. In the meantime, deputies are beefing up patrols in that area before and after school. Well, check out what's left of the Capitol Bar in Northeast Portland. After a car crashed into that building early Saturday morning, you can see people cleaning it up there, the mess. According to preliminary information from police, it's the result of a two-car crash. The Capitol Bar is a popular cocktail spot at Northeast 15th and Broadway. An SUV slammed into that building. No injuries were reported. Portland Fire and Rescue said the building is not structurally damaged, but it is quite a sight. Well, the city of Portland is on the verge of a pretty big strike involving 1,100 city workers. The city has sweetened its offer, trying to keep those workers off the picket line. For the past 2 years, though, the District Council of Trade Unions has been negotiating with the city for better pay and benefits for its workers. Those workers rejected all the city's offers so far and authorized a strike that could begin on Thursday. This weekend, we learned the union has rejected the city's latest offer, but the negotiators will send it to members before the strike begins Thursday morning anyway, because there were some improvements. Workers were encouraged by the people who came out to support their rally on Saturday.
What I take away from it is that Portland really is a union town. We value each other's labor, and there are hundreds of people that will stand up and fight for people that they don't know.
Union members, the workers will vote Wednesday night on the new contract. If it's rejected, they will begin to strike Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Well, Oregon's 211 information line, which was criticized for being closed during part of our deadly heat wave last summer, is making some changes. It's actually adding a new emergency management role to help bridge gaps in the system. During the heat wave in June, people could call 211 to get information about cooling centers, but the info line was closed on one of those record hot days It was a weekend day. It missed about 750 calls. Since then, 211 started operating 24/7, and now they're working to streamline their services with a new statewide emergency manager.
We are seeing increased need across the board, better preparing internal operations to be more responsive and more quickly responsive.
Well, she says that means establishing stronger connections with other agencies and community partners so they can respond on short notice. 211 has also tripled its staff between the start of the pandemic and last summer, and they're still hiring. Well, a new poll shows local voters are fed up with homelessness and crime and in a mood to throw out city politicians who are up for election. KGW's Pat Doris breaks down the responses for us.
The yearly poll conducted by DHM Research asked 500 voters in the greater Portland area their feelings on a number of issues. 88% said the quality of life is getting worse. When asked the open-ended question, what's the biggest problem, it may be no surprise that 45% said homelessness. That's up from 24% in 2017. The other most frequent answer, crime, at 24%. That's up from 1% in 2020. The poll was conducted for the Portland Business Alliance. That's the Chamber of Commerce for Portland. The CEO said the results did surprise him.
Yes, of course, because this is a historic response in terms of alignment of voters.
He said voters seem focused like never before on what is wrong and feel current political leaders are not effective at bringing change.
It shouldn't be lost that homelessness now is so ascendant and that crime has risen to the top of the issues. That should not be taken for granted by anyone in public office, by anyone running for public office, or those managing our public resources.
When asked about the two Portland commissioners up for re-election this spring, pollsters found Portland voters ready for anyone else. 18% said they would re-elect Commissioner Joanne Hardesty, but 54% said they would vote for someone else, and 28% said they're not sure. For Dan Ryan, 10% said they would vote for him again, 34% said they would vote for someone else, and 56% said they're not sure. Both have challengers now, and this poll may bring out even more. Pollster John Horvick said people are fed up.
Those are really telling numbers. They fit with the larger piece of data, which is just voters are really in a sour mood in Portland and the region. And we just see that across sort of the questions we ask, everything from, is the city or the community heading in the right direction to what are the economic opportunities for yourself and your family? It's just people in a bad mood.
Voters do feel better about two topics. For example, COVID. In December of 2020, 26% of people said it was a big problem. Now the number is just down to 7%. And the economy. In 2020, 22% said it was a big problem. That's now down to 3%. Shifting to public safety, there are strong opinions there, with voters wanting more money for body cameras on officers, for hiring new officers and prosecutors, for giving more money to community groups that help stop crime, and more money to police in general.